So North Augusta will kick things off to Lakeside to start the second half. Nick Clary does the honors. And Clary's kick is a low one, fielded on a hop. That is Arnold, and Arnold is going to be brought down at the 24-yard line.
And special teams for Lakeside been sort of spotty. You got the kind of line there to go make the blocks, and they never really actually activate. So for a returner for Lakeside, you almost want to get that blocking line activated so you can maybe try to get some yards there.
That would be important, no doubt about it.
Difficult.
So here comes quarterback Nick Patterson, the senior. Fakes the handoff, looking to throw, steps up into the pocket. Now he's going to keep it. And Patterson's going to pick up some good yardage, about 8 or 9.
And that's a play that he's had so many reps at quarterback, and he knew there was nothing to the right-hand side. And if there's nothing over there, that means there's probably a little space for him to slide on through, as you saw him do there, and maybe run it towards the left. And he did just that. And, again, it's going to be those type of plays that shorten this up, and you see second and maybe a yard and a half, 2 yards at most. And this helps your offense so much when you're able to, when you have nothing on a play, to be able to get something out of it. And Patterson did just that there.
Yeah, second and short. They fumble the football, and North Augusta's got it. He was trying to hand the ball off, and the ball hits the ground, and North Augusta has recovered it. And it was number 99, Mazzone, who got it.
And I'm not sure if, as you see Patterson holding his hand there, I don't know if that happened as the handoff was being made.
I think that happened as they were going for the ball.
Going for the ball. Patterson didn't necessarily make sure the running back had the ball. And, again, that's what you want to do first and foremost. That's the hardest part about running these option-type situations. You see even the best in the business have problems at times when it used to be you hand it and the running back takes it away. But now when you have this different option, you have to really be on the same page as your running back to be able to pull it out after he's wrapped his arms around it.
So here we go. The handoff goes to Price, and Price with a nice head of steam, terrific run. Tell you, I like this Price kid. He runs really hard. He's not a big kid, but he runs very, very hard.
When you talking about one of the more misleading stats at halftime was his rushing for you. It just seems wrong just because we've seen him each and every time.
So what you're saying is you're questioning Nathan Edwards.
In a roundabout way. I guess it's the first game for everybody. But, no, he just every time we see him, it seems like I've not seen him getting taken down in the backfield, I don't believe. So that's why it's so alarming.
You thought he's only averaging about 5 yards a carry. It seemed like much more. They hand it to him again, and up the middle he goes again and picks up about 4. He's 5'10", 180, but he runs – I mean, gosh, he runs the ball hard. It just seems like he's 210 maybe. So Lakeside's back against the wall. They trail by 12 already. You don't want to give up an early score here in the second half, but North Augusta is knocking on the door. As a matter of fact, they're on the verge of being in the Orange Theory orange zone.
Treat for all of us. And it's your first game, so you need to work on a lot of different things, but like right there, 17 there for Lakeside we'll make sure he's already kind of been awkwardly there, the tall fella, but Price has been so productive.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if North Augusta tries maybe another one of those long passes or maybe one of those screen passes they've been famous for the past couple of years. Yeah, kind of acting as a de facto kind of run to the outside, but
they used to wear teams out with that.
You're talking, out of 4 downs, sometimes, we've seen them 3 times out of 4 downs just run that screen.
Well, they get the first down there, and they are in the Orange Theory orange zone all season long. When teams get inside the 20, they are in the orange zone. So North Augusta, early third quarter, and they are knocking on the door. Orange Theory Fitness, your sponsor of the Orange Zone. And the Jackets, you get a good look there on the line of scrimmage. Young sophomore quarterback Landon Washington, and he's going to keep it. Washington is going to be just shy of the goal line at about the 1.
And one of the few times we've really seen them run that option type. Washington,
read option by the quarterback.
I know at least once earlier in the game pulled it down and ran for a decent game, but right there, the more the true option look. As you see him, maybe a little shaken up on the play. Maybe he leaned it on his throwing arm, but we'll see. It looks like he's going to go right under center.
Well,
And that's what they've done each and every time he's gone under center.
They put the big 285-pound Mazzone at fullback and just let him follow the quarterback through, and it works there. Touchdown for Washington after a shaky start for the youngster. He has thrown a touchdown, and he's run a touchdown in, and North Augusta's kind of taken over here. They lead it now 25-7 as we await the extra point from Clary. So the kick is good, and North Augusta leads it 26-7 on the score here early in the third quarter. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back to Lakeside High School in just a moment. All right, welcome back to Lakeside High School, where the Panthers trail North Augusta 26-7. Some other scores from around the area. I'll give you in a moment here as the ball goes out of bounds. That'll be a penalty flag. These were either halftime or third quarter scores. Aquinas rolling past Glen Hills 49-0. Greenbrier leads over Harlem 10-3 in a battle of new coaches there. Evans on top of Westside 28-7. And Thompson's offense clicking tonight against a good Jefferson County team, 35-14.
Kick out of bounds.
Again, all those
against
scores
North Augusta, they'll take it on to 35. First down.
or halftime.
Yeah, anytime you're able to put points like that up in the first game if you're Thompson, like you said, against a pretty good Jefferson County team, that even sometimes goes to show it's going to be an incredible year, or sometimes it's misleading. You're just having a hot hand.
Well, we won't see Thompson until the end of the year against Burke County, the very last game we do in early November. But I think they're going to be the most improved team in the area. They've got not only Christian Tutt, the sophomore that's the #1 ranked sophomore defensive back in the country, but Trey Parker and several other players, plus Jarrett Schroxler adds something to that offense as the coordinator coming in from Greenbrier as Patterson carries it on first down.
Get a good look there at Nick Patterson, quarterback for Lakeside. Had a big year last year, again, leading the squad. Lost a lot to graduation, but coming back, Patterson sort of understands this. A lot's going to be on his shoulders this year in terms of decision-making and making sure, not necessarily having all the big plays that we've seen Lakeside have over the past couple of years, but really eliminating bad plays and just making the smart play. As you see right there, electing to keep it himself and run it to the outside and pick up the first down. Again, 26-7 here, 7:46 left in the third quarter. Game Night Live, the first game of the year.
And it started out great for Lakeside. They intercepted a Landon Washington pass and marched right down the field and scored on a Nick Patterson touchdown pass. But since then, the Jackets of North Augusta have really taken over. They're coming off a 10-win season. A lot of people wondered how they would be without quarterback Trib Reese. I don't know if they're as good as they were a year ago, but I do think they've got a pretty good team, and they've got some really good playmakers on defense especially. Patterson in trouble, almost fell over, and just nowhere to go. The offensive line's unable to keep keep North Augusta out of the backfield.
Yeah, and it's one thing to try to get around defensive players and try to lose them, but when you have a lot of your linemen sort of looking at you, that's kind of the telltale sign that you're probably about to get sacked. You can't have the line looking inward, because that means they have no idea where the defenders are at and that they've already passed them.
Of course, our broadcast each week brought to you by McDonald's and Doctors Hospital. In just a moment, we're going to have a representative from McDonald's in the booth with us to tell us about their involvement with high school football and what they're doing in the community. Right now, though, it's 2nd and 20 for the Panthers. Patterson throws across the middle. It's tipped, and it's intercepted. It is tipped and picked off That's Aaron Maddox. Here's I told you, the big players for North Augusta, Jalen Patton, Aaron Maddox, Rashad Bird, they're all making plays. As there, Maddox comes up with a big interception on the tip.
And that was a tip ball, and a lot of time, I'll even say the majority of time, that's gonna hit the ground, and it's just gonna be an incomplete pass. But Maddox with a great play, and again, that's what separates those great defensive backs that North Augusta's had over the past few years. And right there, a huge turnover for them, and that's the type of play that they're gonna need Maddox to make throughout the year. And on the reverse side for Lakeside, again, very difficult because once that ball gets tipped, it's anybody's ball, and you would obviously hope it would hit the ground, but it's very difficult throwing it towards the middle of the field when it gets tipped because, again, it's so much easier. There's so many more people around it.
Well, and also Patterson's having to hurry everything because the defensive front of North Augusta, as the Jackets aired that one out, it's incomplete, and you saw M.J. Arnold was hoping he could get to it but could not.
And that'll be interesting as the year goes on for Lakeside because, again, Patterson's going to have to run the ball a good bit. But then also, depending on how the line shapes up throughout the year, if he's having to run around and do a lot of this improvising, again, those are extra hits. That's taking a lot. You know, those are running back type hits each and every play. If you're running the ball, you're getting hit. And then if you're running around pretty much each and every pass play, that becomes very difficult each and every week to do that as a quarterback.
As they run the ball this time, good job by Lakeside up front. Yeah, if you're a Lakeside fan, you'd love to think, well, they're not going to face a defense that good. Well, I got news for you. They got Northside, Warner Robins, Evans, Houston County, and Jones County for their next 5 games. So they will be facing some players.
And some elite players on those teams. I know Houston County returns their star quarterback, Jake Fromm. I know he's –
well, and you've got Torres Finney from Jones County who had 22 quarterback sacks last year. Good luck blocking him. And Marquez Callaway from Warner Robins, who they've got later in the year, he's one of the top defensive backs in the state. So, yeah, that region is loaded, no doubt. That pass is incomplete, short, as he was trying to hit his target out in the flats, number 13. That's Walltower. We appreciate you being with us tonight. Join us all season long. 13 games for our regular season schedule this year. And, of course, it all culminates. We've got the all-area team that we do at the end of the year, but also in January, Border Bowl 3 coming up. Border Bowl 2 was such a big success. A lot of money raised for a great cause, the Ronald McDonald House. And North Augusta is going to punt it away here. Rashad Bird will do the honors. He has boomed them tonight so far. There you see him, talented linebacker. So high punt and fair catch by Arnold. So Lakeside will take over. The Panthers need a score, and they need it in a hurry. Midway through the third quarter.
And just a reminder, each and every Friday night, Football Friday Night with Matt Zahn and Nathan Palm. No other station covers more high school football games than Football Friday Night. Again, the area's only 30-minute high school football recap show. Again, the #1 high school football television show airs every Friday night at 11:35 on WJBF News Channel 6. Those guys do a good job.
They do, and they cover more games. I mean, gosh, 20 something games each week. It seems like they've got video for
Yeah,
us,
Nathan was here earlier to check in, and I know he was going out to Greenbrier, and not exactly. I think he had 2 or 3 other games he had to go hit.
Yeah.
And it's crazy to think Evans and Westside, I'm being told by the producer, and it's just to think you got to drop in, get the footage, get out of there, go somewhere else, drop in, and then get back. And the hurried pace at that station on Friday nights is.
Yeah, I would love to say that you and I work much harder than them, and they've got it easy, but it's really the other way
No, we
around.
can tell everybody that, and they'll believe it.
So here we go. Nick Patterson trying to lead Lakeside down the field here. 2nd and 13. Back to throw, and again he's pressured, rolling out, and just nowhere to go.
And again, those hits add up throughout the year.
And looks like the North Augusta player may be a cramp. The way he kind of fell quickly there. And
See an official timeout, but most fun, it's high school football, kind of the official kickoff for all football as we get college football started the next couple of weeks, and then the NFL gets started. But the kickoff of football season, starting with high school football here.
All right, well, as I mentioned to you a moment ago, our games each week brought to you by McDonald's and Doctors Hospital. And right now from McDonald's, we've got Rob Brown, who's an area supervisor of 4 local McDonald's restaurants. Rob, how are you?
Hey, doing great. How are you?
Good to have you out. And McDonald's and high school football seems like they've gone hand to hand for many, many years. And it looks like you guys are keeping that going.
Well, that's right. We love being a part of the community, love being a part of high school athletics and high school in general.
Yeah.
And just really anything we can do to help the programs along and help the students, we're all for that.
I know it is funny because if you ride by McDonald's after a high school football game, that's where the kids are. I mean, that's where the crowd is, and you guys have to love that.
Oh, that's right. Well, we try to make a special night after the game. It's Football Friday night, and we're just as big a part of that as anybody, and that's great.
Well, and when you do things in the community like that, the people appreciate it so much. So I know you guys have to get a lot of positive feedback for not only are you invested as a sponsor, but also coming out to the games and showing up and being there, doing specials, for the kids and that kind of thing. I'm sure you get great feedback on that.
Oh, we do. A lot of parents, just folks in the community, they let us know all the time how much they appreciate us and our support, and we just love being a part of it, love doing it.
Absolutely. Well, Rob, thank you so much for what you do, and we appreciate McDonald's.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Rob Brown with McDonald's, supervisor of 4 area local restaurants, and we appreciate their support of high school football with WJBF Game Night Live. Setting the stage here again, we've got 4:20 to go in the third quarter. North Augusta Lakeside, the Panthers have the football, but they trail it by 19. And Patterson, a little reverse play here.
And nowhere to go.
Nah, they just the defensive front for North Augusta right now is starting to kind of take advantage of some holes in the Lakeside offense.
And that's where plays like that really don't work, only because the defense doesn't have to be over aggressive. They're able to kind of establish where they're at the line. They don't have to overrun anything, so therefore a sort of reverse type play like that aren't very successful because, again, they're basically staying kind of in their home positions there. And that's something that Lakeside will really take a look at after this game and kind of learn where they're going to have to.
I love the idea, though, of playing a tough opponent early in the year.
Absolutely.
Really, in most years, both these teams were playing a tough opponent. Lakeside's a little down due to graduation from a year ago, but I love the idea of doing that as Lakeside tries to get to the corner. But you gain a lot from that, I think, more so than playing a team and running up the score. Sure, some people say confidence, but I like the idea of playing and being tested like that.
Yeah, you'll see rarely are teams that just load up on cupcakes and, they might have the best team in the state, and some teams are able to do that, and they'll play a bunch of nobodies and then go through the region schedule, and they'll be okay. But usually that's not the case. You have you got to go against some of the best players in the area, like a Rashad Bird, and decent defensive backs. For Patterson, again, summer is a lot different. Summer's a lot different than the football season. So to reacclimate yourself, you had a great year last year, but to get back into it and go against a decent defensive secondary is only going to help him out throughout this year.
Well, he throws it up for grabs, but it's nearly caught, and pass interference is the call. That's DeJuan Bell, who was on the coverage, and M.J. Arnold drew the flag.
And we'll see there, just by the way the ball was thrown, very surprised that the defensive back thought he would have to touch a receiver. Plenty of time for him to readjust and to get on the ball and make a play on it.
I think it was the case, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, it looked like the receiver just got better position where the defensive back felt
24,
like he had to
interference on the defense.
It would have been
First
a tough
down.
catch either way,
right.
But now instead it's a first down for the Panthers, and they've kept them all away from North Augusta, but they got to get points. And right now they need 3 scores at least, and that's if they stop North Augusta the rest of the way. North Augusta over the last 6 years or so has averaged about 10 or 11 wins a season. Lakeside's coming off a year where they were only 6-4, but they had wins over 2 of the teams who made it to the state quarterfinals in Class 5A, Jones County and Houston County.
Yeah, great year for Lakeside last
terrific year. They had the heartbreaking loss to Evans and then a late loss to Warner Robins that cost them a playoff spot.
Really cool in that each and every Friday night you were kind of glued, even if they were playing out of town, glued to the scoreboard to see if, how things were going, and pleasantly surprised many a time.
And they gave Warner Robins a great game on the road. That was a battle for the playoffs and nearly pulled it out. Like we said, they did get hurt by graduation. They lost their top 2 running backs, top 2 receivers, their top 2 offensive linemen, and a host of players on defense, including Rashad Roundtree, who signed with the University of Georgia. They had 6 players that are playing on the college level this year that were on the team last season. I tell you, we talked about Landon Washington learning under fire. The offensive line for Lakeside is learning under fire tonight as well. And nowhere to go for Patterson that time.
And Patterson fighting right there against, kind of going one-on-one with Bird there.
Those are
certainly not backing down.
two household names in the area. And Patterson he's got to be the leader on this team, and he understands that, I'm sure. He's a kid who's been groomed to play quarterback. He was a starter a year ago. But last year he was a starter, but maybe not necessarily the leader because they had other guys. This year it's his team.
And I know he's worked really hard in the offseason, kind of taking over that role. And, again, you kind of have to show it to your teammates.
Yeah.
You know, everybody can know that's the case, but you got to put in the work, and he's certainly done that this offseason.
They're going to be really aided, and that ball is tipped. They're going to be really
uncharacteristic bad decision there, just trying too hard to make something out of nothing there. Got lucky it wasn't picked off, but really just trying too hard on that one.
Fourth down for Lakeside. They're going to be aided quite a bit when they get Hunter Bentley back. I was talking to one of the Lakeside folks. They say he's sort of like a Wes Welker type, a slot receiver, and right now he just got his cast off. They cut it off this week, but they don't expect him back until kind of the meat of their schedule. So they've got a bye week next week. They've got Richmond Academy, and then they've got a bunch of good schools coming up, Northside and Evans and Jones and Houston. So they're hoping to have him back for part of that.
Well, and that's the guy that Patterson's been used to,
Yeah.
all summer, and
they were
very comfortable with him.
They
and
were
you
stars
kind of ripped
together.
it out of there.
They were stars together as freshmen on the JV team, and they've kind of grown up together. So somebody he feels comfortable with.
Regardless of skill, if you're in the zone like that with another player and you're comfortable, especially a quarterback to a receiver, you cannot replace that, no matter how talented anybody is, to have that kind of connection.
5 yards.
Minute 47 to go, third quarter. It's a penalty on Lakeside. So
prior to the snap, you had a
they were
delay
already
on
gonna
the
punt.
offense.
Now instead of
Still
4th and
fourth
7,
down.
it's 4th and 12. Throughout the season, we will be talking about some of the great hits each and every week from our friends at Augusta Pain Center with our hit of the game, and we'll have that throughout the season for you. They've been with us for a number of years now. It's hard to believe it. This is year 5, right? Game Night Live, year 5, hard to believe. And the punt is a short one, bobbled. Second time North Augusta's had a tough time handling a punt. We'll take a quick break, though. We'll be back. North Augusta will have the ball when we return. All right, welcome back, folks. North Augusta has the football. And they lead it 26-7. So North Augusta trying now they want this clock to run. It's only third quarter, though. Now, like you said, this is a time where a coach can work on some things, get some players in maybe that they haven't seen in certain spots, maybe some groups together, that kind of thing.
Yeah, really. I mean, the greatest thing is game experience, and not that it's at necessarily that point yet for this team, because again, it's the first game. First and foremost, you have to learn how to finish a game first, but.
Yeah.
Still, maybe, some things that you might have struggled with in the offseason, some passes, some type of runs.
I think they're going to work on run blocking right now.
And right,
I got a
exactly.
feeling.
And a lot of times, and really to be honest, put something else on film. Because, again, other teams are going to watch this game, load them up on a bunch of different stuff that they have to prepare for. And that takes up practice time.
Well, one thing they tried earlier, I doubt we'll see now, but they tried that trick play where they had a wide-open touchdown pass that was unable to convert, but something to keep an eye on for if I'm an opponent of North Augusta.
Right.
I certainly watch when that formation happens and the receiver comes around.
And what's scary about it is, although they weren't able to complete it, usually when teams run that type of play, they don't necessarily have somebody that can throw that well.
Yeah.
It has to be a busted wide open play for it to work. North Augusta has, and I forgot who threw the ball, but it was, that's a dangerous passer who threw it.
I'm not sure if it was Bird. Bird's an outstanding pitcher in baseball.
Yeah.
I don't know if he threw it, but the throw that time is nearly picked off. Yeah, Bird did throw the trick play, so it was Bird. That kid, he punts. He's had 232 tackles last year. He runs the ball. He's the area player of the year in baseball. There ain't a whole lot he can't do.
If there was an award to give out for just all-around athlete in the county,
Well, at halftime, you saw the field turf and you saw the new wrap on the buses.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. He probably did that
Sure,
too.
right. Yeah, I'm surprised he's playing in the game. He must be
telling
tired
you.
from helping
Yeah.
put the field turf down all day.
telling you.
I'm sure they needed his help, but yeah, just an all-around great athlete. And coming from a great family, CJ, a great kid, went to the University of Georgia.
Now, he's bigger and stockier and more well-built. CJ was more tall and kind of thin. And
But you know what's funny, though? They both look their position.
Oh, yeah, no doubt. That ball was tipped by the up man and caught by Arnold.
And they both play two different positions.
Yeah.
Usually you'll have like a couple of brothers, that both play linebacker
Yeah.
or both play defensive back. They play two different positions, and they look like the position they play.
Yeah, Bird looked like a safety defensive back, and of course, CJ and Rashad looks like he could pretty much do anything out there on the field.
And again, for Lakeside, just the special teams, they're gonna have a lot to look at on tape because, again, you're trying to catch a punt with your hands over your head. That's never anything you want to do.
Well, in all honesty, let's be honest. The team last year didn't have to worry about it a whole lot.
Right.
You just put Stephon Husa back there, and you're okay.
Sure.
And really, for the last 2 or 3 years, they haven't had to worry about it.
And that's part of those mistakes, future potential mistakes, like a turnover there, which would be huge for the other team that they're going to have to eliminate for them to have a successful season.
That's
Well,
a whole
not just the turnovers,
91
but
on the
fact that
offense.
they're making those awkward
First
catches,
down.
and the fact that when they do catch it, they're kind of standing and just stutter stepping.
Yeah.
That's hurting your yard. That's hurting your field position so much.
Yeah,
I
and
mean,
activating the blocking on
Yeah.
the kickoff return, all that stuff. And that's, again,
Yeah.
it's their first game, and they'll look at it, and, you make your biggest jump after the first game, and we'll see what they come up with on it.
This one's not quite over yet, but it's looking bad. Third quarter coming to an end here in just a moment. This will probably be the final play. Nick Patterson at quarterback. He's been harassed all night by the North Augusta defensive front. And Patterson's going to keep it himself again this time. He's brought down after a short gain. But that will bring the third quarter to an end. So we will take a break here. And we'll be back. North Augusta leads Lakeside 26-7 here at Panther Stadium. Back with more WJBF Game Night Live in a moment.